Guys, Becky here. Today I'm at the woods, as you can see. Just been up the camp for a weekend, staying with the family, so that was nice. Louise is finally back from Tanzania, so got to hear a few stories from her, seeing how the trip went. But I thought today I'd come out and I would do some flint and steel and show you guys how I've progressed and the different stages of lighting the flint and steel and then making a bird's nest to make the fire from it. So today I'm going to be doing it with char cloth and using a bird's nest. So I'll just go through the materials that I'm going to be using for my bird's nest. I can see around the forest there's a lot of dried fern, so I'll be using that. There's some dry grass, then this fibrous stuff from the conifer bark. So there's a lot of materials that I can use, and obviously the weather's really nice now, so a lot of things have dried out. So I've got a good selection. So yeah, I'm aiming for 5 things depending on what I can forage, what I can find, and I'll bring you along with me. I haven't done a video for a while as my camera only just came back, so I sent it off to go get fixed as it had a little dip in our local river on my last video, so I've only just received it. So here there's loads of bundles of fern. Gonna pick quite a bit of that isn't damp from the dew. So I'll probably get this bit in the sun where it's dried out. So fern is really fibrous and dry stuff that's really good for catching light. So some of it's quite damp, as we had a thunderstorm last night, so a lot of rain. So I'll try and get the bits that have dried out from the sun. It's my nice big bundle of fern, and now I'm going to go and collect some thinner bits of material. So just on the path here I found a dead conifer tree, so I've ripped some of the bark off and I'm going to take some of these thin bits of material which are quite flammable. So I'll just scrape some off with my knife. So just collect some more of that. So I've got a few bits and pieces now. I'm going to keep scraping it off the tree and the bark. So yeah, still need to get a few more bits of material to complete the full bird's nest. Probably needs bits of grass and then thinner and quite like medium-sized twigs to finish off the outside of the bundle. So the reason why it's called bird's nest bundle is because it should be shaped and should look like a bird's nest. It should be nice and comfy stuff inside for the little baby birds, and then quite a hard outer shell for protection, and that's what my bundle's aiming to be like. So it's more flammable in the middle, and then it gets onto harder materials and more solid materials on the outside. Behind me here are some nice thin and dry twigs that I'm going to be using for the outer side of my bird's nest. I've got all my small combustible materials, so they're quick burning. That's why I need sticks on the outer side, as they burn for longer. So that's my flammable stuff in the inside, and then my twigs. So I'm looking for roughly twigs the size of a pencil to go on, cover the outside of this. So there's my twigs for the outer side. The size is like varied, but the biggest ones are like pencil size. So that's what I'll be using for the outside of my bundle, as they're long-lasting twigs are, so more long-lasting than the other materials. So, and then gradually you'll get bigger and bigger bits of wood if you are actually making a fire. I'm just going to be demonstrating the tinder bundle and lighting that. Here's some conifer bark. I'm just going to be scraping some more of that fibrous material off for the middle of my bundle. So this is really flammable stuff. However, once it goes up, it doesn't last for a long duration. That's why you need bigger and bigger bits of material so the fire can sustain. So I get quite a bit of this just to fill in the middle of my bundle, because this is the most important part, so it's going to catch. That's how much I've got so far. Now once you've got all your bits of material that you're happy with and that are nice and dry and flammable, you'll go in to make the bundle into a certain shape so it can be the most effective. And I think you should put a lot of time into this if you want to succeed at that and not want to do the whole thing again, whole process. Because as you can see, it takes a lot of time trying to find the right material and actually lighting it with the flint and steel. So you want all your nice little bits in the middle where you're going to lay your charred cloth, your most flammable bits. So that for me it's my grass and my bits of material off the bark. That's going to be my middle piece, and this is the bit around that. So I'm going to kind of shape it so it's in the shape of a bird's nest, so it's nice and compact, so everything can light well. And it doesn't fall apart on me. So after I've done that, I'm going to put my twigs around the outside. You can roll the bits of fern up in your hand to make it thinner, more fibrous. So that's nice and secure now. So once that's done, in the middle here, I'm going to place my grass. So there's my bird's nest. I'm going to sort it out a bit now so it's nice and secure, and then that's me done. Once my charred cloth's placed in there, I'm going to fold it together and I'm going to give it some, close it together so it gains some heat in there, and then hopefully it will start to catch light, and then I'll blow it so it gives it some oxygen, as that's the three things you need for fire: oxygen, fuel and heat. Got my charred cloth now and my flint and steel, so I'm going to give it a crack. I'm going to zoom in onto the bundle so you can see everything, and yeah, so here's my bundle. So I'm putting my charred cloth at the edge of my flint, so any sparks I create will drop onto there. Alright, so already it's just sparks going on. Oh, the camera's there, and it's starting to burn. So I'm going to lay it on in my tinder and start giving it some oxygen. I'm going to smoulder it now to give it some heat. So it's burning away in there and it's starting to smoke. Sorry about the videoing. It's starting to smoke. Sorry about the videoing, guys. It's hard to control that and move around the tripod, but you got a basic idea of how it's done. burning for a long time now, and obviously if I wanted to have a fire I'd add bigger twigs on top of that so the fire can keep burning and sustain. So that has lasted for about a minute now of just the materials I had, so it shows that that worked for me. I gave you a kind of basic view of how to do the tinder bundle and the flint and steel. Sorry about the videoing, it was difficult controlling the fire and the camera at the same time, so I think as I haven't really sorted the camera through yet, the settings, it kind of went off when I was still blowing away on giving the bundle some oxygen, so it kind of went out, but you saw it light and you saw it in the fire pit lit and all the materials burnt out. But yeah, I think it's better if I get someone to video me doing that next time, as you can actually see it better, and I have to do it again because that videoing was pretty terrible. But you saw me light it, and you saw the tinder bundle was lit and it burnt all the way through, so that clearly worked, so I'm happy with that. I've told you guys that I've been trying to practicing the flint and steel for a while now, just trying to get the hang of it, and it took me quite a while. I just kept coming back to it and then did it again and had a break as it's quite difficult, and I think you just have to give it time so you can practice the movement of how to do it. But yeah, I finally mastered it, so I'm pretty chuffed about that. But yeah, it's good. It was a good practice, and I'm glad I kept practicing and persevering with it, as it finally paid off. But yeah, I think it's good to practice flint and steel, as it's obviously another fire technique that you can do. If your gear ever gets damaged or wet, your other fire stuff, you've always got flint and steel, and they're obviously really strong materials. It doesn't matter if they get wet, and if your flint breaks, you can always find flint on the ground somewhere, so your steel is really strong, and that will take a lot for that to damage. So it's always good to carry that on you and even practice that, because it's a good skill to have, and it's just something else another skill that you have mastered. But yeah, I'm pretty chuffed with that. It's taken a while, but it finally paid off, all that practice. So yeah, I'll have to video that again, as it wasn't that clear. But you've got a basic idea, and I hope you've enjoyed watching how you do the tinder bundle, and you've witnessed me actually doing it now. But it's taken a while, but I've finally got there. But look at the weather behind me, it's so sunny. It's a nice day to be doing it, and it's been like this all weekend, camped out all weekend. It's about 24 degrees, so hopefully getting a bit of a tan. But yeah, it's nice and relaxing, and it's different from usual temperatures, and everything's really dry, so it was good for collecting materials for my tinder bundle. So as well as charred cloth, there's other materials that you can use to light the sparks off the flint and steel. So there's a lot of, actually Francis in my tinder box one of my subscribers gave me. There's a rare plant that's really flammable that you can use, and I'm sure there's other bits and bobs that you can use, but I need to practice on. But charcoal cloth is mainly the thing that people use. I think it's the easiest one, because once there's a spark on it, it lights and it gets really hot. So that's basically the process. I did the right technique. The sparks came off the flint, they landed on the charcoal cloth, and then the charcoal cloth, the heat and the ember spreads across the cloth as it's really dry, and you then put it in your tinder bundle on your most flammable fibrous piece of material, and then you close it up so it gains heat. And then it starts to catch on the pieces of material, and then after a while you can blow on it to give it some oxygen, and then you can wave it in the wind like that to so you don't have to blow on it. The wind can help you give the fire some oxygen, and then you have to see which way the wind's blowing, as that gives you an advantage. And then once all the thin materials are lit, you can turn it upside down so the twigs start to catch light, and then there's your fire. And then you could just keep adding bigger twigs, and then finally logs to your fire. So they're the simple stages of how to do this fire. So I hope, if there's any beginners watching and you haven't done the fire yet, I hope you found that useful. I think if you're trying to learn flint and steel, don't try and learn it in one day. Just keep coming back to it and then give it a break, and eventually, after more time you spend outdoors and your muscle memory in your hands get used to doing primitive things, you kind of get the hang of it, and you find the patience and the skill to do it. It takes a lot of patience, as it's hard getting the angle on the flint, not on the flint, the steel, sorry, and knowing how hard to hit it, and just things like that. But after a while you'll soon master it. So good luck to anyone who's going to go out and give that a go or give that a practice. It's a good skill to have. And then next for me is bow drill and hand drill. I still haven't done them. I've been practicing but still haven't mastered it yet. So yeah, hope you're all enjoying the lovely sunny weather. So to finish this all off now with the flint and steel, I'm going to light a fire with a magnifying glass. As it's sunny weather, this is what I'd use if I was going long term and wanted to save my resources. As it's sunny, I'd use a magnifying glass. So I'm just getting my mum to video me now, as I don't want that problem again of the bad videoing and it going off again. So sorry about that. Hopefully it's a bit clearer now. And I've got my magnifying glass, and we're just going to find a I'm going to find a sunny spot to go to so I can light this material. Good position now, and I'm just going to try and get a small dot focused on this material so it gets as much heat as possible. I'm going to first practice on my hand just to see if it's hot. Yeah, there's a lot of heat there, so I'm going to put it on here now. I'm going to wait till it smoulders and keep it nice and still, one position. So I can see a little bit of smoke coming off now. Right. Right. It's smouldering now. I'm going to push it in, the material. It's building up heat. I'm giving it some oxygen. I use the wind to my advantage. There we go. It's lit now, and I turn it upside down so all the other materials catch. So the same process as the flint and steel. And then my twigs on top, I'll roll it over so all my twigs are there. And then that's it. If I wanted a bigger fire, I would keep adding bigger bits of material. So going from a small lead, pencil lead, and getting bigger from that. So that's all from my magnifying glass and the sun. So yeah, same process as the flint and steel, just a different piece of equipment to do it. So that's that, it's burning away nicely there. So, with my little incident on the river with Harriet last video, we managed to go back to the same spot that my boat got stuck and that I fell out my boat with my gear, and we managed to recover the boat back. So we got that back, and I got my North Face jacket, my coat, so managed to gain some things from it. So yeah, that was good, getting my stuff back, but there's other bits that must have sunk or whatever, but yeah, there's nothing you can do about it really. I hope you've enjoyed the 2 different fire methods and how to make a tinder bundle. So yeah, thank you for watching guys. Obviously it's really useful to keep practicing your fire skills, and just whatever level you're at, you should practice a different fire skill, and then the more you have, the more skillful you'll become, and you'll have more fire techniques to fall back on if you're ever stuck or you have any challenges or whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching, and now I've got my camera back, I'll be making some more videos now. So see you guys.